Welcome back to my channel. This is Allie with the Sea Owl, and I am so grateful to have been called to bring you this incredible reading from the Archangels. There are 3 different groups you can pick from. We have 3 different birdies here. This first pile is this yellow-bellied finch. The second pile is this little black and white finch. And the third group is our infamous owl friend, who is usually here during our readings. But as you can see, things look a little bit different here because I was given this download while I was washing dishes tonight. I've been wanting to create, but I hadn't really been given the information on what to create, if that makes sense. I don't create content anymore unless I'm actually called to create it. I hope that makes sense. And so as I was washing the dishes, it was really strong and really sudden, and what I saw was the thumbnail for this video, and it was "The Archangels Have a Message for You." So I got really excited, and here we are. They did not want anything on our board here except for this candle, which I have imbued with several different things for us, all for our highest and holiest good, so that we can receive the messages that we most need during this reading, and also to give you just some encouragement and love and healing here as you hang out with me and the archangels and spirit. So without further ado, I invite you to close your eyes, get comfortable, take a deep breath in through your nose for about 5 seconds. Hold that breath and exhale through your mouth all the way for about 5 to 6 seconds. And I encourage you to do that a couple times because it just helps you feel better. It's a wonderful practice to do to help regulate yourself at any time of the day. You probably know this, but I'm just saying it. And take your time picking, but I do want to mention that you can never pick wrong, but I've already recorded this, and every single reading bleeds into the next one and is overlapped, and I say that only to say that as you watch, you're going to hear me reference the other piles because there was no way around it. If you feel called to more than one pile or all 3, know that that's totally okay because they really do all resonate together. But you can't pick wrong. And more than anything, I'm grateful that I get to spend this beautiful time with you and connect with your energy again. So take your time, and I can't wait to see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your precious time here with me as I channel messages from the archangels for you. If you missed the intro, I talk specifically about how I received the download to do this very reading. And so that's there for you if you want it. But the archangels are very particular about our setup tonight. From every inch of what you see or lack thereof was by design from them. So before we begin, I'm going to use these Tibetan symbols to help clear the energy and ground our energy together. And as I do this, I invite you to take up to 3, at least 3, deep, meaningful, mindful breaths, and focus your intention to be open to receive what you are meant to hear for your highest and holiest good at this time. And afterwards, we will get started. right away I see a stork. Ooh, sorry. We got 4. Right away I was seeing a stork. It was definitely a stork. And but I'm not getting like the typical meaning that comes with a stork of, you know, special delivery. But it's that bird, or again, birds that hang out around water are very significant to you. I'm getting that you've already seen one. Blue herons may be particularly significant. Thank you, Spirit. So here is your first card, Imperial Topaz. This is actually going to be the first card of your reading, obviously. I'm a little taken aback by the cornucopia of things going on here, of abundance being delivered. You live in abundance is literally what the card says. Let's go ahead and read from the book. So we have number 71, or page 71. So the number 8 is significant for someone. I'm also getting Leo season. So when we are satiated, when we feel that we have enough, full spirit, full heart, we can relax and offer abundance to those around us. This is Imperial Topaz's gift. The ability to savor life and take nourishment from its beauty. Topaz helps us find sensitivity within ourselves so we can notice with all our senses and appreciate with our whole being the minute workings of the world. From this place of abundance, we become a cornucopia full and overflowing with energy, which can be shared as kindness or courage or wisdom with those around us. There is wonder everywhere, Imperial Topaz whispers. It's up to you to take it in and assimilate it into your heart. Now, I have to tell you, the very first, or the predominant thought that I was getting for your reading, that your message from the archangels that they want you to know here is that you are a cornucopia of love energy right now. And my mouth is incredibly dry. And I'm noticing this half full bottle of wine right here. And I'm getting, they just want to touch on this and get it out of the way. I'm getting that for some of you, you need to check your reserves at times. You may find at times that you kind of slip back into not the healthiest of coping mechanisms. And this isn't like to shame you. It's merely mentioning that this is a direct reflection of how much you are overgiving and not giving to yourself. You've done so much work that you're like this, like they said, like this walking abundance cornucopia. But even these overflowing cornucopias need replenished once in a while. So they said that's all we're going to say on that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some animal spirit medicine here for you. For group 1, Archangels, what do you want group 1 to know? Messages for group 1. And we may even get more than one of these cards, is kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. For others of you with Imperial Topaz and the color orange, there's something here about the color orange for you that's very significant. And I know I'm not like well versed in this, but I know that colors, like anything else, hold certain frequencies. That's also the color of your sacral chakra. And so we might look at that a little further here in a moment. You may also just, like the pumpkin is really standing out to me. This time of year where I'm at as I'm recording this, we're heading into the autumn season. So pumpkins, everything fall. Thank you. I think I see at least 2 cards there. Whoa, and there's 3. And 2 more? Okay. Okay, that's a lot of cards, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Definitely still want to note skunk number 7 here at the bottom of the deck. Number 7 is very important for our reading here in general. I felt number 7 energy so strongly that it is imbued on this candle. And 7 makes me think a lot of the rune Manaz, which is about humanity at large, society, awareness. And it's kind of, number 7 is that self and spirit connection, at least for me anyway. You may have another meaning for the number 7 for you, but this is what I'm feeling. Interestingly enough, the Manaz rune is also imbued on this candle. So we will get to that. And are you serious? Didn't I say blue heron? All right. Blue heron. Wow. Wow. This is a little shocking for me, actually. So let me make sure that you can see these cards first. Many of you drawn to this pile are being spoken to very clearly by spirit through animals. And it's very important, I think, at this time for you. I'm getting so much that I want to share with you right now. And it's like, okay, let me finish a thought. So I think it's very important for you right now at this time to not only connect with the animals and the nature signs and synchronicities that you're already seeing, but particularly with your soul totem animals. I hope I'm saying this right. So if I can remember correctly, there is, with this medicine card deck, there is something that you do where you pull, you only do this once in your entire life, and you pull an animal from this deck for each, let me get my paper so you can see, okay? Okay. So it's your personal totem animals that were assigned to you at birth. I had to go get my own paper. And you only do this once. You only do this once in your whole life, because these are the ones that are assigned to you at birth. And you don't question it. You don't do it over. What you get is what you get. And that's intentional, because those were the animals assigned to you at birth. What does it mean to have a totem animal? Let me read to you from when I did my own, okay? It says, to better understand the medicines of these animals, study them in their habits to see how their characteristics apply to both humankind and you. Watch for creatures appearing to you at home, work, and at play. Journal the experience in great detail, including how you felt. Search their spiritual and magical meaning. These omens are to guide you and answer your questions. It is teaching of these truths that has brought nature people to understand, and these same truths that may open this door to you. Now, if you would like some assistance in doing this, I can happily refer you to someone in my soul family who assisted me in discovering mine. But all of this is to say, it's really important that you start working with this more, because you are connected to nature. You are innately connected to nature. And while you may feel like you're not of this earth, you are so connected to Gaia and every living being that inhabits this plane. Because of that, you are already innately a little more tuned in to the signs that nature can bring you. I'm getting particularly with birds. And again, look at this main card here with abundance. This is abundance of the earthly realm. This is abundance of food, of drink. There's plenty of candles. There's crystals. There's so much, like everything that you need is here. And that's kind of what Spirit is saying to you right now. Everything that you need is here. The archangels are correcting me and saying this is us here. My habit of saying spirit, even though they are in spirit, that's they're kind of teasing me. And I'm hearing Big Mike coming through, which I wondered if he was the one who picked this beautiful blue light in the background for us. Clearly, blue heron is a very powerful animal that your soul works with, whether you live somewhere that has blue herons or not. And I love that bear is here, number 5. Bear is here at the center. Bear is here almost protecting the horde is what I want to say. And there's all these beautiful different aspects of you that are coming through now. Each of these animals is showing themselves to me as a different facet of you. And do you notice the diamonds? Oh my gosh, would you look at this? Nothing is by chance. 22 reduces to a 4, and then we have number 4 here. And each of these cards have diamonds on them. So, wow. Okay. 4, 4, and then we have 5 here in the center. You've been doing the work on each of these beautiful facets of yourself. And you may say, archangels, how is wild boar medicine beautiful? And let me tell you why. I love when I get my Kramer going. Let me tell you why wild boar is so amazing. So it reduces to a 12, 48, right? 8 plus 4, yes. Reduces to a 12. And I'm not normally one to like pull these books out all the time, but that's where they're leading me. And you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. These guidebooks that go with these books were channeled by someone. So they're just as beautiful and important as anything that I could try to channel. And okay, if wild boar, also another 22. 22s are very important to you. If wild boar has charged into your cards today, you are being asked to confront anything or anybody that you have been avoiding. Pay attention, embrace your warrior nature, and find the courage to confront your fears. So wild boar energy, when you are faced with things in life that are viewed as confrontation, yucky things that make you go, ugh, like I don't want to deal with that at all. But you have been working on this aspect of yourself where you're able to remain true to yourself as well as be courageous. And while you could rip someone to shreds, just like with the bear here, while you could, you're not embodying that energy. In fact, it's like this bear is very nurturing. This bear is not giving me ferocious vibes whatsoever. If anything, this bear feels as soft as the deer and the rabbit here. But again, we're talking about all these different aspects of you that you have been working on and cultivating. At the core essence of you is bear energy. This is strong and courageous, nurturing, gentle and ferocious. So it feels like this beautiful duality, and we have so many different energies here that you have learned to embody so beautifully. I'm hearing now it's time to take all of this to the next level. I'm hearing shamanism. I'm hearing animism. Okay, so weird. I just heard shoplifting. So for someone out there, and it may be very specific, I feel like there are certain, maybe like things that you have done in your past that really bother you, that maybe nobody but God knows about, like those kinds of things. And if that's the case, I think they need you to know that, like, there's nothing that you can do that we can't come back, and there's nothing that you can do where we would stop loving you. The only way that happens is when you reject us, because those in the spirit realm, because we are embodied here in this physical form and we have free will, we have an agreement that energies outside of physical cannot intervene unless they are invited, unless they are asked. This is stuff that's even in the Bible. So the only way that they would turn their back on you is if you rejected them. Okay. I feel like it's just a message for someone who really needed to hear that if there's anything in your past that you feel is untoward or unsavory or that would deem you unworthy, just it's time to release that. I'm actually hearing, give it to Blue Heron. That is so cool. That is so cool. And since we brought up Blue Heron before, I have a feeling, I hope this isn't just me, but I have a feeling I'm really going to annoy someone that I've been bringing the book out this much. But hey, it's a message that we're getting. Self-reflection. Are you serious? I just said, give those worries that... Okay. Heron medicine is the power of knowing the self by discovering its gifts and facing its challenges. It is the ability to accept all feelings and opinions without denying any emotion or thought. Heron flies over those who are unaware of who they are and where they belong in the world, gently dropping a blue feather to them. Again, this blue. A blue feather to them, Heron asks that they follow their intuition and begin the empowering journey of self-realization. If the great blue heron has flown into your cards today, it is urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings, to seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills so that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. Looking at yourself through the filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity. You will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. So I feel in many ways, again, with this reducing 2 and 9, that might hit a nerve with more people than I thought it would. And this is about this last bit that needs healed. It's the last bit that needs healed that the archangels want to help you with. I feel like a lot of the time you feel like you're perpetually in your deer energy. You might be easily spooked. I don't find deers clumsy, but I'm hearing you might be kind of clumsy. There's always this ever-present feeling of something more, though. What is that? Even though you feel like you're a deer all the time, and at times maybe even a rabbit, and you, again, they're reiterating, you now encompass the light attributes of these spirit animals. But that's not how the world sees you, and that's not how your team sees you. Your team sees you as the bear, the Hierophant, the change maker, full of wisdom and this nurturing, pure heart. It's much more Winnie the Pooh energy than any kind of like ferocious bear. I'm seeing an image of like a grizzly bear fumbling around to like catch a fish in a pond, and it's really funny and cute and sweet. And that's how like that's how the archangels see you. But they're saying you still don't see yourself that way. You still see yourself as less than, as almost there but not enough. And this reading is here to help you change that. So if you want to take a snapshot of this before I clear the board, I feel like every single one of the animals up here are very important guides for you. And I just heard a little click or something on my wall. So let's put these up for a moment. And how can we help? How can we help pile one with this, Spirit? Please and thank you, Archangels. I am using the Mary Magdalene Oracle by Megan Watterson. And I'm asking for guidance and clarification on how to help Group 1 through this last phase of releasing work, empowering work that they need to do to move in fully into their highest timeline. They're saying you're already there. You don't need to worry about that. You're already there. You're still at the train station. You just got off the train, so it's still, everything still seems a little wobbly and strange. But don't worry about that. You're already there. Now we got to get you ready. Okay? So they're saying the hard part is over. That's what I'm hearing. The hard part is over. Thank you, Spirit, for Group 1. Thank you, Spirit, for Group 1. Please help me guide them. What do they need to hear from you? What do they need to know to help them through this? Please and thank you. First and foremost, before we even flip that over, I need you to see this card. I have not bound anything. I have not bound anything. I am free. And I think this is an affirmation that you need to repeat to yourself. I'm hearing every morning when you get up for 7 days straight. They want you, oh my God, are you... Okay. So they need you to repeat this to yourself every day for 7 days straight. This is one of those moments where I want to like throw a mic down. Listen. Look. Vision comes from within. I am free. We have got to spend more time amplifying the knowledge, the fact that you are free, that you have not done anything wrong. You are not bound to anything. You have not bound anything. Your vision comes from within. You are creating your highest timeline and you're here now. How do I release the weight of this that's holding me back, Spirit? And the answer is repeating this affirmation for 7 days. I am free. I am not bound. I have not bound anything. At the bottom, we have love has already won. Silence. I speak from my heart. Again, more of this time, like, not only speak this out loud, okay? Don't just speak this out loud, but speak it until you feel it in your heart space. Repeat it 7 times in a row for 7 days straight. Whatever you have to do to fully integrate the knowing that your soul is free and you have not done anything wrong and you have not done anything to anyone. You are free. You are free. You are free. You are free. And when you meditate, if you can envision this golden white light around you, healing you, washing away anything that you perceive, that they're highlighting, indenting, italicizing this, anything that you perceive as something that holds you back from the freeness of what you wish to experience, because you're already there. You're just not allowing yourself to see it yet because you don't feel like you belong. You don't feel like you're worth it. You still feel like this little deer, okay? This is insane. This is insane. What else? Please and thank you, Spirit, for pile 1. What else? Mary Magdalene herself. Wow, this is incredibly powerful. They're asking me to just channel here, so I will. And they also want me to keep this out, so I will. Okay. The love you so desire resides within each of you, untangled, unmaimed, unbent by the desires of society, truly whole and pure within you. The ease with which you navigate these muddy waters is remarkable to each and every one of us on your team. The love you feel you are so undeserving of has always been in your corner, your vortex, and yet always slightly out of reach, because you feel on some subconscious level even that you are unworthy of the good things, the nectar, the cornucopia that life willingly wishes to offer you. And yet you have fought tooth and nail at times in your life, convinced that life was merely out to get you. And this was never the case. It's important that you truly recognize the distinction now as you truly move into a new density of being, not only here on this human physical plane, but as your soul and your mind reaches an ascension not yet known before in this way. It is important, it is vital that you take the steps that we are offering here for you to overcome this last hurdle that burdens you so. And we see how it burdens you, like a splinter in your finger as you try to go on about your day, and everything in your world is a rainbow, but you can still feel the splinter in your finger. And all we are wishing to do is offer you guidance in how to remove that splinter so that you may experience the fullness of life without anything holding you back. With this, Mary Magdalene was a beautiful example of how to navigate these waters and the work that she had to do, albeit mostly on her own, until she met Christ, Yeshua. You are connected with Mary Magdalene in this same way. many of the obstacles you have had to overcome in this lifetime. You have had to muster the courage and hibernate to learn how to heal yourself all on your own, with only the hope that you may have some invisible friends out there helping you. And we were with you, and we heard you, and we cried with you because you could not feel us with you. We cry with you now because we see the purity of your heart, and we wish you could see how deeply we loved you. We love you with the purity and the depth that Christ loved Mary Magdalene. And some of those that you love most in your physical reality right now may not understand the intensity with which you love us so ferociously. And that is okay, because they are on their own journey as well. Releasing them from any kind of bind that you wish they may wake up and realize the things you have woken up to and realized will not only free each of you, but also set you both on a new path for your highest good, where the miracles of this life have room to occur. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a channel for you. Archangels, Spirit, I am truly grateful. It says, love only ever expands on this Mary Magdalene card. And I don't feel like there's much more that I can expound upon in your reading here, except to say that as you release yourself with the help of the angels here, of your entire spirit team, with this beautiful healing golden light behind you. And there's also something so significant about roses for you. It wasn't just in this card. I saw it earlier in this vial of roses that a friend gave to me, and I didn't say it, and now I'm saying it because I see it. I have double confirmation. Golden light, orange. I feel like orange is a color and a frequency. Your sacral chakra. This is a place where your worth and worthiness resides. And so this may be the best place to start working on healing this chakra as you do this affirmation work over the next 7 days, if you wish to do it. So that is your reading, Group 1. Thank you so much for spending your precious time here with me. I am so immensely grateful. Thank you to your spirit team. Thank you to the archangels, to Amazing Spirit, for allowing this transmission to occur. If you found this reading helpful or if it resonated at all, please like, share, or subscribe. Those are completely free ways to help the algorithm and kind of boost things to get my stuff out there so the people who need to hear it can hear it. And it just really helps me and my channel. So if you're ever interested in any kind of personal reading or different things that I offer, or if you just want to talk, you can always find me, I guess I'm trying to say, at my website at theseaowl.com. And more than anything else, please take excellent care of yourself, Group 1, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. I am so grateful to be spending this precious time with you here. So this is your reading. Hey. I'm Allie. I am excited to just jump right in. So I'm going to use these Tibetan chimes to help cleanse the energy here and ground our energy together. And then we will jump in. So if you'd like to take 3 deep, meaningful, mindful breaths in and out, and just focus your intention to hear exactly what you're meant to hear right now in this moment from the archangels. And I'll see you in just a second. Okay, group 2. I'm so excited to be here with you. If you missed the intro, that's fine. I just kind of explain how I got the download from the archangels to do this specific reading. So we're going to start off your reading by pulling a crystal for you. This crystal card will be kind of the overall energy of your reading, and could definitely be a stone that the archangels would like to connect with you with or have you use. So we will find out once we get it here. You know, so a lot of times I'll have like things coming through as I'm shuffling, and it's a blank. It's just a blank. So I wonder if some of you don't even have a question. You're just like, what do the archangels want to say to me? And that's cool too. All right. Thank you so much, archangels, for group 2. We have 2. Both very similar. Oh, we have 3. Look at this. Okay, now this is interesting. This was the card for group 1. So I feel like if you were here from group 1, it's further confirmation for you. If not, it's still for you, Imperial Topaz. And so this is talking about having an abundance of resources, in particular of love energy, available for others. It is just making sure that you're constantly replenishing it, because you are the cornucopia and people are coming to you for this abundance, right? So it's making sure that you, as the cornucopia, are remaining filled and not depleted. Then we have salt. That is so cool. Salt and precious opal. So while it's right here in my mind, I just found out yesterday there's something called salt rooms, and they're supposed to be really good for your lungs, especially. And I don't know, it's just this room of salt, made of salt, that you go sit in for a while, and it's supposed to be really, really good for you. So that might be something to look at. Bare minimum, I'm hearing that if you can, like, okay, they're saying bare minimum twice a month. If you can, once a week, more frequently is totally fine. You've got to take a salt bath. And so it's really, really easy to do this. You can buy some Himalayan salt, some Epsom salt. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Double check on that. Like, this is not health recommendation, so maybe it does matter. I don't know off the top of my head. But look up how to do a salt bath and sit in that bath. Make sure that you pour the salt water over your crown chakra. And I think this is if you're not already doing this, they would really like for you to add this to your practice and make it a routine. This practice really helps cleanse you of any attachments, of any negativity. This card for salt says the fundamentals of humanness. And I feel like that we have to make that, our spiritual hygiene has just got to be a part of our regular everyday hygiene. It has to be made a priority. I hear the dogs barking outside, and for some reason I feel like that is confirmation for that. So the other card, I should say the third card you have here, is Precious Opal. And I don't know enough to speak on this, so unless Spirit wants to have me like channel, which is totally cool, but there's something about the Opal Collective or the Opal Children that I just heard about from a friend on the channel here a few days ago. And then another friend in about the same time frame told me about the Aurora Collective. Now, I am not, like I said, I'm not any more familiar with them myself than that being placed on my radar recently, and it's coming into my mind here, especially with the precious opal. So if you are aware of these collectives and you already felt drawn to them, definitely a confirmation, most definitely. But I actually feel called to pull, like to read from the book on this precious opal card. I know you can't possibly see it on the camera, but it's page 139. So that reduces to what? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 and 4. So the death card and the emperor. Let's see here. Precious opal page. Oh, wrong book. We'll get there. I'm getting excited. Okay, 139. Let's see. Were the ancient oracles always accurate? Nope. Time is fluid, Opal knows, making the prophecy business rather risky. But when the priestesses of Delphi donned opals, their ability to make sense of the swirling waters of what is to come sharpened. Unlike most stones, opal knows how to hold and work with water. She feels the way in which the waters of time can be channeled or dammed, creating different outcomes and new visions. Since the future is not a fixed destination, naming the pathways you might walk to get there begins to craft what comes next. Choose your road and name your path, Opal encourages. That's how the future emerges out of the swirling waters of time. And that's actually the biggest message I feel coming through here for you. Choose your road and name your path. You already live in abundance and you are divinely protected. Now is the time, I really feel this, now is the time to get serious about what it is exactly you want. Sodalite may also be really significant for you. And as I say that, I have this card here. Sodalite, with its rich blue color, which we have all over here, has a soothing energy that brings emotional balance, reduces stress, and calms the mind, cleanses negative thoughts, and enhances self-esteem, self-acceptance, and self-trust. Guides towards a confident path of success when one seeks a new intention. An ideal tool for meditation as it has energies that heal both body and spirit. So I have to take another drink of my water. Along with the opal and the sodalite message that's coming through, oracles of Delphi, spiritual cleansing. This is so much talking about how much of a psychic person you are, but also how intuitive and empathic you are. I see you literally being a sponge for every energy in the atmosphere. That's how connected and tuned in you are. I feel like every pore on your body is an antenna. And this may have led you to be really frightened. I feel like for a long time growing up, this may not apply to everyone, but you may not have had a very good system or any system of support in helping you navigate who you were as a very highly sensitive person. And when I say sensitive, I don't mean like, empathic and kitty videos make you cry. I mean sensitive to everything, to atoms in the air, to like lightning strikes 10 miles away, to like, I don't even know what. You probably do not enjoy going into like big grocery stores or malls. I assume you come out feeling very depleted. And I feel like this is probably something that you have done a lot of work, at least in the realm of recognizing that you are experiencing it this way. And they are reminding you again of the preciousness of who you are, and just how malleable, and I'm getting like you're a loofah, okay? And so you know when a loofah is like all dried out and hard and small, and then you put it in water and it like, you know, blows up and it's real squishy and that's how you are all the time. I'm being called to mention, I know it didn't come out here, but they are bringing it up for me to mention here. Black kyanite, I think, would be a good crystal for you to just wear on a regular basis. Like, you're that. Again, they're giving me the energy like every pore on your body is an antenna, and it's also receptive. So you may find you go to check out in one of these grocery stores that you didn't even want to go into, and the cashier starts talking about some super traumatic thing that happened to them 2 months ago. And you're actually supposed to be in this place at this time, but you didn't kind of put up the necessary, not barriers, but just spiritual protection around yourself to keep you from soaking up their pain while you're talking. See, you're just a walking, talking antenna, receptor, whatever that is, and it's like a light beam. It's like you're walking around with this light bulb around you that's just blinking. It's just like constantly blinking to make sure nobody misses you, you know. That's your energy. And I'm getting it's supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be like a firefly. But the pain that you endure when you are not protected, you probably come out of these places feeling like a firefly that got hit on a windshield, honestly. And so doing these salt baths much more regularly is not only going to help remove these energies. Archangel Michael is also asking for you to call on him specifically to help cut these. They're not cords. I see them as almost like someone sees that you are a light that they can harness energy from, and so they kind of like attach a little hose to you energetically, and so even when you're not near them, they're able to kind of siphon that energy. Just thinking of you helps siphon some of your energy to them, and this is what you're meant to do, but not in the way that you've always operated. Now this is crazy. Wild boar again and dolphin. How two totally opposing forces here. And again with the fours. So 444 might be really significant for you. I hear the angels saying yes. And I would love to invite, I know Big Mike has been here through both of these readings so far, and he and I work very closely together, but I'm just throwing this out here to the other angels. If anyone else would like to come through, I would love nothing more, since we are doing an archangel reading. So with dolphin and wild boar, yeah, the number 4 is not leaving your reading somehow. You're very connected to this number, almost in a fascinating way. What is it with you and this number? You're very... I wish you could see my face right now, because like, what is this? Do you know that meme of the woman who's like making a face and there's all these equations going on around her, and you can't really tell if she's confused or putting... That's what I'm doing right now. Like, what? The number 4. is very significant for you. The number 4 is about foundations, and yet I feel, oh yeah, that your foundation had to be met and created within yourself before anything else could even begin. This was what you signed up for in this lifetime, they're telling me. And your angels kind of always knew that you were going to do it, but it was still kind of, I'm hearing, it was still a little bit of a crapshoot because of the, what's the word, guys? The complexity and the depth of the mission you have taken on here. So many different pieces had to fall into place, and it was all dependent upon your free will. So I think that's what they mean by it being kind of a crapshoot, if we even got to this point in this lifetime or not. And you did, you have. The freedom that you feel now is interesting. In pile 1, when Wild Boar came through, it came through very positive, very, very positive. And it's not that it's not positive here, but what I'm getting is kind of this juxtaposition between Wild Boar energy and Dolphin energy. And it's kind of like who you operated from as before and who you are now. And kind of I see this progression almost of overcoming what could have been deemed as shadow energies, which what I get here with this Wild Boar is like feeling like everyone was out to get you. I'll get them before they get me, like very on guard, very apprehensive. And if you come at me, you're going to get my tusks kind of thing. And so I kind of feel you like you kind of walked around making sure people kind of saw your tusks, so it didn't even go that far, because really and truly you didn't want it to. You were this squishy puff mallow inside, but you had to learn how to take on some of the more toxic or shadow, I should say. No, they're saying toxic. Toxic, shadowy attributes of Wild Boar to survive in the world for a long time. As you have moved through this, you have transformed totally into the dolphin. What a vastly different energy, right? You're free in the vastness of the ocean. You know, it's like jumping in and out of the water. I hear dolphins cackling. Like, I don't know. It's a vastly different energy. And I feel like maybe even there might be pieces of you when you were operating more in the shadow Wild Boar energy that you still find yourself like reverting back to accidentally. And I feel this so hard for myself right now, because just in this last week, I was telling one of my very best friends about this. I was at a park and I saw this person at the other end of the park, and I came up with this whole imaginary argument that this person came up to me and started being mean to me, and like the things I would say back and why I was validated and what I was saying. And I realized I was having this imaginary fight with some random person 2 football fields away. And I remembered that this was how I always operated before I started to like love and accept myself. And it was discouraging. I'll say that. It was very discouraging to find myself doing kind of the same old silly thing that I used to do that kept me separate from everyone. It kept me separate because in my Wild Boar brain, I felt like if I was separate from everyone, then they wouldn't have the opportunity to see me or hurt me. And now you're in this freedom, free loving, like community dolphin, watery energy. And again, there's so much water here, like precious opal, swirling waters, dolphin, salt. This woman isn't... So you could have some heavy water placements in your birth chart. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel that pretty heavily. I'm hearing Pluto and Scorpio, actually. And Pluto's a generational sign. So, yeah, this is really beautiful. All right, further messages, please and thank you from the Archangels for group 2. What do they need to know from you? What do you want them to know right now from you? Please and thank you, Archangels. I'm hearing Archangel Gabriel's name. Archangel Gabriel may be, no, they're an archangel that they would like for you to start connecting with more. That's what I just heard. And that feels very loving and kind of excited, and an invitation. An invitation. I don't think you have, I'm hearing clicked in, which is not something I normally say. I don't think you have clicked in as deeply with Archangel Gabriel as maybe some others. I'm also hearing Archangel Raphael. So these are some what you would call like major well-known archangels. We have different corners of the medicine wheel here, the 4 corners. We have 3 of the angels of the 4 corners of, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, do you want all of these? Okay, yes. So this is the Mary Magdalene deck. I'm sorry, Mary Magdalene Oracle from Megan Watterson. So we have the legacy. My words. Let me take a drink of water real quick, please. Okay, we have the legacy. Love is always legendary. We have the red thread. Good recognizes good. We have the breath. I reclaim my soul. We have 7, another card from group number 1. More confirmation. And then here at the center, we have golden light. Healing comes from within. Exactly, with Imperial Topaz here. All of the healing that you have done came from you, came from within. And I feel like, look at this family here and the legacy. I truly feel that what you are going to leave this world is an actual legacy. And this is not in an egoic way. This is literally, I'm hearing generational wealth for your family. A legacy that leads people to self-healing. The breath, I reclaim my soul, and 7, vision comes from within. It's like your deep past and your deep future merging here, like showing you from one end of your spectrum to the other. And it's interesting that the beginning is here, but the beginning of this life is here for you, and the end is here, because I just learned that in Hebrew, they write from right to left. And that's kind of how this is. And this feels very, now I don't know, I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I'm being brought up from Hebrew, writing from right to left, and I'm also hearing Aramaic language. Now I don't know if those two are connected whatsoever. I'm so sorry. But that is what I'm hearing. So there may be something there for you, that it may be further confirmation, but it is an actual legacy that you are leaving here, that you are creating, and you're just on the precipice of it. You're right on the precipice of what you're like. I'm sorry, I'm so overcome at the moment, because everything in your life had to happen in a certain way for you to even be able to get off the train here at this timeline. And now that you've been able to get off the train, there's like just this little bit here of this in-between that you're in, of these, mending, tying up loose ends, So you fully move into the highest timeline. You're already there. They keep saying that. You're already there. You just can't see it yet because you're still at the platform. But to fully be able to just live in your dolphin energy, live your purpose, create and leave this legacy of good, of self-healers. I keep hearing self-healer movement. You leave this legacy of golden light. Healing comes from within. And you haven't even taken the first step on this part of the journey yet. You think you have and you haven't. You think you have and you haven't, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because what this tells me is that everything that you thought that you feel has been good for you right now is still going to feel good. But you have actual fireworks coming in for you. And I don't even feel cocky or overconfident in saying that. That's what I'm being given here. The red thread of the legacy of a family. Leading by example, leading by healing from within. Again, the number 7 is very, very important. And I mentioned this in group 1, but I'm going to mention it here for you too. When I was getting all of this set up here, which was very blank, you know, there's just the blue light and the candle here. They didn't want, the archangels did not want anything else in our field of vision. And when I was preparing our candle for this reading, I was overcome with the feeling to imbue it with 777. And for me, 7s feel like this connection between self and spirit, much more. But I feel like some of you are here from pile 1, so I don't want to regurgitate the same stuff I've already said. But this is significant for you. 4s and 7s. I'm also hearing 28. Something changed for you when you were 28 years old. Some of you were born on the 28th of a month, but I'm hearing more. Something happened around the age of 28, which is close to your Saturn return, so that makes sense. They need you to know that they have seen every bit of work you have done, and they need to tell you that you're ready. You're ready. You're more than ready for the next step. I'm hearing you're ready, 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 ready. Is that a song? Oh my gosh, it is a song. There's this kids show on YouTube, Gracie's Corner, and you should check it out because it's amazing. But there is a song that says, "Are you ready, 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 ready?" And I feel them asking you that. Well, actually, they're saying you kind of have to be ready now because you've already gotten off the train. What else are you going to do? I feel called to read the golden light here, and then I'll check in, but they may have us end your reading there. So, golden light. It says, we have the power to use our imagination in the effort of healing. If we close our eyes, we can immerse ourselves in an inner apothecary. We can allow the imagination to conjure and create potent images, stories, and messages that feel like a balm for the soul to receive, like a sacred medicine cabinet uniquely made for us that can only come from within. In Toni Morrison's masterpiece, Beloved, she writes, freeing yourself was one thing. Are you kidding me? I have goosebumps all over my body. Freeing yourself. Freeing yourself was one thing. Claiming ownership of that freed self was another. How do we claim and take responsibility for this self we have freed from the ego? This is exactly what we were talking about. Holy cow. And it's page 44. Are you kidding me right now? I'm sorry. I'm so overcome. This is insane. How do we claim and take responsibility for this self we have freed from the ego? I think we each have to live into the answer for ourselves. For me, my answer is that I claim my freed self by loving myself fiercely. And if not fiercely, then as loving as I can in each moment. What does that mean? That means staying conscious and aware of whether or not I am being merciful with myself. Am I being too hard on myself? Am I allowing harsh judgment, either from my own ego or someone else's, to harm me? It's an essential need to want to take a shower or bathe daily, or at least frequently each week. We often stop short of realizing that our We often stop short of realizing that our interior landscape is more critical even than how we appear externally. And the most powerful way to cleanse and heal the interior world of our own heart is to bathe ourselves in golden light. You have to have been here from pile 1. Like, there's no way. There's no way you didn't pick pile 1 also. Wow. Gold is always the color of halos depicted by artists throughout the centuries. Gold is the goal of the ancient alchemists. Because gold is unalloyed, it's pure, meaning only itself. Wow. It's unified, one thing. It has been the mythic and material symbol of divine love for centuries because it has the highest value and deepest worth. This is a reminder to use the power of your imagination to take full ownership of your freed self. Close your eyes and allow an otherworldly golden light to surround and suffuse you from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet. The soul voice meditation is, what does it feel like to be bathed in golden light? And that's exactly what Spirit asked pile 1 to do. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's no way. You have to be here from there because the messages are intertwined. I don't like pushing another pile on someone, but I'm telling you, pile 1 is pile 2 and pile 2 is pile 1. And that makes me think I am you and you are me. And you have realized this oneness, just like this golden crown, which is why you are the one who has been crowned to create this legacy, weave this red thread throughout humanity, create this movement of self-healers, and be the leader of that, but also be free. Okay, I'm hearing that is it for you, pile 2. Wow, what an amazing reading. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me. Thank you to your guides. Thank you to mine. Thank you to the amazing archangels who called me to do this reading and spent their time with us here. If this reading resonated for you, please like, share, subscribe. Those are completely free ways to help support the channel and support me to keep doing what I'm most passionate about, which is bringing you messages like this. And if it, yeah, I already told you if it resonated with you. But if you want to book a reading with me or even just email me to talk, you can find all that at my website at thecl.com. So more than anything, Group 2, please take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. I am so excited to spend this precious time with you. I hope you're well and you've been taking excellent care of yourself. This is a reading asked to be channeled by the archangels. So if you listen to the intro, I kind of explain that a little bit, but it's not necessary if you just jumped right to your reading. So this is what the archangels need you to know. And if you have any specific angels in particular that want to come through for you, they will. It has been really interesting so far. Group 1 and Group 2 actually ended up being like readings for each other. So I'm really, really anxious. Anxious might not be the right word, but that's what came out. I'm excited to see what's going to come through here for you. So before we begin, I'm going to get myself comfortable too. Go ahead and get comfortable and take a couple deep, mindful, meaningful breaths, concentrating that the information you most need to hear comes through from the archangels for you here today. And I'm going to use these Tibetan chimes to help cleanse and ground our energy, and then we'll begin. Okay, right away, I'm hearing mediumship. Mediumship is coming through. So I'm not sure yet if that is for me to channel a past loved one for you, or if that is for you to work on. So I'll wait until I get confirmation from them on that. But mediumship. This is interesting. So this could be triggering, but I just heard passed away boat accident. That feels extremely specific. And they're saying that the message with that will come in time. If that doesn't resonate for you, don't worry. Don't click off. But it was for someone. All right. So this is, these are crystal cards from... crystals from the archangels. How interesting. That's what I wanted to come out of my mouth. Also, hummingbirds are coming through really hard. 44, the number 44. And I believe in the spirit animal deck that I'm about to use for you, hummingbird is number 44 in that deck, if I remember correctly. So there's something with hummingbirds for you, and the number 44. Also finches. Finches are important. And incense. I'm not sure what's happening right now, but I'm just going to keep saying what they're giving me. This is not the most linear messages, but that's okay. So these are crystals that they would like for you to work with. And this will kind of be the meat and potatoes rather, of your reading, group 3. Okay, archangels for group 3. Crystal for group 3. Thank you. That is labradorite. And then we just had rhodonite pop out as well. So labradorite, recharge your destiny. Oh, look at this, more of this. It's the same color blue as the light here. And I love that you got 2 of them. So labradorite, page 27. So that reduces to a 9. And, you know, labradorite is a very psychic, what I want to say is psychically charged stone. And I also feel called to mention the ruby here. Hold up. Is this a freaking hummingbird? It is. Okay. So hummingbirds. Okay. Wow. And hearts. This is really wild. I just noticed that. Yes, that's a hummingbird. So there's confirmation. I'm sorry, I'm kind of stunned. So there's acorns on this card. They're swirling again, swirling air. It says recharge your destiny, but it feels mystical. That's how it feels to me. It feels mystical. Let's read from the book. Number 27, or sorry, page 27. And that's interesting. We opened it to Emerald, and I'm kind of getting like this mystical, mythical Thoth emerald tablet vibes here. And we opened it to the emerald page. So let's find page 27. And sometimes it's impossible to connect with a sense of soul's purpose. Life can feel like a dreary trudge from work to the grocery store to your desk piled with bills. In those moments when you feel far from magical or mystical, call on labradorite. The Inuit people say that labradorite was an ordinary seeming stone until it was struck open by a mighty warrior. Suddenly, labradorite's matrix was revealed. Inside the ordinary was dancing fire. I'm getting more opal vibes from group 2. The lights leaped from the stone into the sky, becoming the aurora borealis. Labradorite reminds you that you are both the ordinary seeming stone and the mighty warrior. You have the power to release your own secret depths and light the night sky with your flame. Okay, I'm also feeling Trisilisk. When you were young, did you feel a sense of greater purpose? An acorn has everything it needs, all the resources and nourishment, understandings and patterns to become an oak tree. We are much the same. And this is you specifically. Everything we are becoming is encoded within us. With light and water and space we grow, but sometimes we get hung up. Like an acorn caught in a spider's web and unable to reach the ground, we feel like we can't take root. We lose sight of any destiny beyond our daily doings, but the pattern is still there, like the fire of labradorite hidden in the ordinary stone. Again, what is your greater purpose? Can you reach back to that feeling in childhood of what that was? Just feel it, it says, and bask in the sensation of having a life's mission. What is your fuel? What lights you up? And for here, this says heal your heartbeat with rhodonite, page 155. So number 11 reduces to 11, 155. Okay, I feel so excited for this message for you, group 3. I'm not going to read all of this. I don't feel called to read all of this, but it does say when you're anxious, and didn't that word come out in the beginning of your reading? This is insane. When you're anxious, especially when you're perpetually anxious, your heart stutters and skips. But it's not your heart that's the problem. The problem lies deeper, rooted in the vulnerability that is causing the anxiety. Once you're in sync with yourself, ask your heart what's feeding its anxiety. To heal your heart, you need to first know in what way you feel vulnerable in the world. And it's time for this first step. I am so blown back that there is a hummingbird on this card. Interesting. Reba McEntire might be a sign for someone, because there's a quote here that says, "For me, singing sad songs often has a way of healing a situation. It gets the hurt out in the open into the light, out of the darkness." Wow. And I feel like, isn't this what they're talking about? Mystical, mythical, murky, dream time. When things start to feel like you can't make sense of them, which is very similar to opal again, we get out fiery labradorite. And you have had to heal your heart space in order to feel like you could remove yourself from the drudgery of everyday, this is weird, everyday muggle life. And I'll tell you why it's weird that I say this, because I've never watched or read Harry Potter. Not for any other reason than I wasn't really allowed to growing up, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So it's interesting that I would even say muggle life, because I'm not entirely sure what that means other than just what I've heard in pop culture. So I feel like that's pertinent for you, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. I hear tiny but mighty. And that's what I feel with the hummingbird spirit. You have this ability to get up again and keep going, like the Energizer Bunny, but like tiny but mighty. And Yeah, I hear that you're coming into your knowing of this about yourself now. So let's see. I already shuffled all these cards from group 2, but I'm going to shuffle them more since I'm here with you. And I will say that raccoon kept popping out while in your pre-shuffle. So that'll be interesting if it comes out. Raccoon medicine may be pertinent for you. I also feel called to mention another YouTube channel that is one of my well, it's not secret anymore because I'm telling you. It's called The Raccoon Whisperer, and there is an older gentleman in Canada who feeds, I believe he lives in Nova Scotia actually, and he has so many raccoons that live on his property and come up there to eat. He feeds them every night. I will link this. I will link this in your description box notes for you group 3. If you feel called to check out his channel, that would be really cool if he ended up coming here, although I have no idea if the Raccoon Whisperer would be interested in a tarot video. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, all right. Archangels, messages for group number 3. Messages for group 3, please and thank you. Yeah, turtle, eagle, armadillo. Armadillo came out in group 1. Dragonfly, owl, and this one too, lizard. Yeah. All right, we got crow at the bottom here. Let me get organized. Lizard, armadillo, eagle and dragonfly, turtle, porcupine, yeah, that's how I want it. Okay. I just need to make sure that you can see. So to start off, Spirit is drawing me first to the numbers on these cards. 1s and 2s particularly. We have a 2 here, a 2 and a 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 and 1, and 1. So there's something here with, what is this? Is that like coding or something like that? 10011, something like that. Anyway, 2s and 1s are very, very important to you. I'm hearing life path too. Man, you've spent, look at these are all animals that that are on the ground, right? And these are animals that are in the air. Okay. Is this not wild? Like, this is wild to me, and I'm doing the reading. You are meant to be soaring at heights that you cannot even fathom at this moment in time. I'm getting that you, in particular, group 3, embody owl, eagle, and dragonfly medicine simultaneously. I'm hearing in flight. So many of you are just now kind of realizing that you have wings. Take that how it resonates for you. Again, this freedom narrative from the archangels, and I'm so grateful that they are giving us confirmation that we really are free now. If you found this reading, you get to claim that. I hear that. I feel it. And each of these energies, really, I feel like all of these energies in their own way are very psychic animals. You may not look at a porcupine and think that's a psychic animal. But what I'm getting at is they're very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. I know all animals are, but each animal on the board right now is extremely intuitive, and they have to be for survival. I actually get that you have always been very intuitive and connected to your intuition, and you are being raised out of a comfort zone where this mystical comfort zone, ooh, there we go, mystical comfort zone, you're being elevated out of this because your wings are ready now. And for the longest time, all that you thought that you were was this kind of intuitive ground animal, like boots on the ground. Yes, I'm intuitive, but you're still kind of going through the motions of matrixy life. And now that your wings are expanding and you're seeing again, this word ferociousness, ferocity of who you are, tiny but mighty, that you are able to soar and over obstacles. Other people have to hop over obstacles, and you just like soar over them. And with that ability comes with it the responsibility to lead wisely. And I feel like that right there, that knowing that as you soar higher and that as you have healed your own heartbeat and you are learning how to teach other people how to heal their own, and you are soaring, the weight of that responsibility is starting to get to you a bit. I feel like you may even be a bit more kind of like a porcupine and the armadillo and the turtle. These are even the lizard. These are animals that have this protective layer over them. They are not a squishmallow, you know. Even though if a porcupine wasn't pokey, I would squeeze a porcupine so much. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you've kind of adopted or readapted to some old habits of the daily grind and kind of putting on your porcupine coat. Not that you don't want to connect with people. I feel this. You're a very solitary person, but I do feel that you're wanting to connect with others more. It's the weight of the responsibility of what does that mean when I step into this role fully. It means you can't go back, but they're saying right now you already can't go back. Like, you are where you are and you worked hard to get here, and why do you want to go back? I'm hearing the simplicity, ignorance is bliss, but you know, where before you were kind of struggling and you had your protective gear on and crawling across the earth to make mountains move, now you're soaring above the mountain, and like the mountain isn't even an obstacle for you anymore, and the candle just cracked to confirm. So they're saying, what about this responsibility scares you so much? That you've worked so hard to get to these heights, and now you want to like dip back down and put your porcupine outfit back on. And again, they're reminding me that there are light attributes and shadow attributes to every single thing in this universe. And porcupines are not bad. I just got done telling you that I want to squeeze them and hug them, even though it would be terrible for me. But the idea of your porcupine suit being having all these quills where it keeps a barrier around you from people getting too close. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here before I take this off the board, because I feel like now that we've established the problem or the issue at hand, it's time to ask them, the archangels, how can we solve this for you? What do you need to do? I'm being brought back to the crow because there's more messages here about your psychic ability. They're saying again, you've always been psychic. You've always known you were psychic. Maybe this isn't the word that you use, but this extreme intuition, being able to see people's innards is what I heard. Some people may be uncomfortable around you because you look at them and they can tell that you can truly see into their soul. You can probably see what they ate for breakfast this morning and the nasty post that they left on somebody's thing on Facebook. And that makes them squirm. It makes some people squirm. They don't realize that they are also this way. And many, many people unawake, I used to be this person operating from that frequency, act in such ways because we're hurting, right? We're hurting, but you can see far and beyond that, like eagle vision. You see through people and like not even through their soul. You're like seeing 3 generations back, and they can sense that, and it makes some people uncomfortable. I think that also, whether you're aware of it or not, is something that kind of puts you off from even attempting to connect with people in a deeper way at times, because it hurts you. It hurts you. You're just trying to connect with people, and you may not even realize that you're searing into their soul, and they act very put off by you, and all you saw was trying to be kind and have a conversation with someone in the school pickup line, right? I keep being drawn back to the hummingbird. So there is something so significant about the hummingbird for you specifically. If you want to take a screenshot of these animals, because I do feel actually eagle, owl, and dragonfly. These are the 3 animals they need you to work with and tap into. Read about their symbolism more. Just like we were given that story about the Inuit people, I think it's important to read different variations of what the symbolism is in different cultures of each of these animals: dragonfly, owl, and eagle. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the board here so we can pull some cards from our Mary Magdalene Oracle from Megan Watterson to ask specifically what it is that the archangels need for you to hear or do to step into your highest frequency, your highest timeline, as well as any other messages that they might want to bring through for you. I'm Archangel Sandalphon, and I believe Archangel Sandalphon is in the lower, how would I even describe that? I want to say lower realm, but I don't think that's the right way to describe it. The lower plane, and Archangel Metatron is in the I'm so sorry. I think Archangel Sandalphon is on the horizontal plane and Archangel Metatron is on the vertical plane. But don't quote me on that, please. Because that's just my brain trying to remember. They keep saying, you got that right, but I don't know if I did or not. Okay, thank you. For group 3, how can group 3 fully step into their highest timeline and heal? I don't even know if it's so much about healing. It's more about accepting and stepping into the role, taking that first step. You know, I feel like that's really more what is the issue at hand here. All right, one more time. Thank you, Archangels. Yeah, Archangel Sandalphon and Archangel Metatron are both coming through for you. I just keep hearing their names over and over again. Thank you so much, Archangels. Oh, wow. Silence. Love is already won. I speak from my heart. Thank you. The fifth power. I am a body and a soul. Group 3, Archangels. Wow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm going to have a come apart. This card has come out in every reading. So we're going to stop what we're doing right now. And we're going to read this card. I can't even tell you how many times I have shuffled this deck, y'all. Okay. 7. And I'm going to open it right there. In chapter 7 of Mary's Gospel, Mary asks Christ, "So now, Lord, does a person who sees a vision see it with the soul or with the spirit?" Christ's answer is fragmented because the following 4 pages of Mary's Gospel are missing. This is the cryptic start to Christ's response. A person does not see with the soul or with the spirit. Rather, the mind, which exists between these two, sees the vision, and that is what? I've often wondered if these pages were torn out because in the scripture that's missing, Christ reveals to Mary how true vision comes from within, and if how we truly see in this world isn't ultimately about our eyesight, but a spiritual perception that exists within. If how we know what's true for us, what's real and lasting, if these answers come from within, then no one can have power over us. If we contain our own answers, then no one can mislead, manipulate, or distract us by saying that true power or true peace is over here at a price or over there at the cost of our freedom. There's tremendous power and immeasurable peace that comes with knowing that all we ever need to do is seek inwardly and we will find. All we ever need to do is close our eyes and open to what the heart sees clearly. The word mind in this passage is not our modern understanding of it. In the original Greek, the word for mind is nous, N-O-U-S, which is translated more accurately as the spiritual eye of the heart. The nous then is the aspect of the soul that allows us to receive a vision from within. What can cloud over our spiritual perception, according to Mary's Gospel, are the 7 powers of the ego. 7 is the spiritual number of transformation, of the stages the soul must pass through in order to reach liberation. And legends say that 7 times a day, Mary was lifted above the holy mountain in the south of France by 4 angels. 7 times a day, I think this means she freed herself from the 7 powers of the ego, so she could see clearly again and again with the eye of the heart. The soul voice meditation with this card is, what vision am I ready to receive from within? And the number 69 or 999 may be very significant for someone as well. My crown chakra is tingling. Yeah, it's no coincidence here that this 7 card has come out in every single reading, and I have shuffled this deck like nobody's business. The realization, like, I am a body and a soul. I personally feel, is kind of the first step in recognizing who you are on a spiritual journey. That it's not just you, that it's not just your ego, like how we've been, led to believe until something happens, or, until something happens that creates that change where we have to wake up. And this realization that you are a body and a soul, and within that, that you can not only heal yourself, but help others find out how to heal themselves, just as this was talking about. How incredible is it that you get to be the beacon of that? You get to be the voice for this self-healers movement. And there's not just one, okay? That's what's so beautiful about this. There's a whole community of leaders being brought up right now and being asked to step into the fullness of who they are and what their soul purpose was and what they came here to do. And for you, my beautiful group 3, you have already figured this out. You have figured out how to do all this work. You are soaring above the mountain, like literally you're in the rainbow. Love is already won, and you're still silent. Now this card says, silence, I speak from my heart. And that's exactly what you're going to do when you fully step into your purpose. But right now they're saying you're still silent. And we're ready. We, the archangels, are saying we're ready for you to speak. The pain of the past is holding you back. And I feel like you have been a leader in many aspects and various ways in your life as it stands. But this is different, because this is putting yourself out there as a leader and saying, I know I don't have any physical evidence, but listen to what I have to say, because what I share with my voice, that I speak from my heart, might actually help you on your own understanding that you are a body and a soul. That you say this to other people, right? And there are 7 candles here on this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are, I mean, what did that say? What did that say specifically about 7? I want to read it again. I want to read it again, Spirit. Help me find 7. Because it was so important about the number 7. It said, 7 is the spiritual number of transformation, of the stages the soul must pass through in order to reach liberation. And that is what you have already done, and that is what you are leading other people to. But your voice has been silenced in so many lifetimes. And even though I feel like you've kind of stepped out of your shell a little bit to fully encompass this flying energy of yours, it requires you to take it requires you to take that first step. But to take that first step, you have to integrate the knowing that you are fulfilling your purpose in this, and that love has already won. That means that love is already won inside you, within you. And love is what comes from your heart as you speak. And the vision that comes from within is of love. And how can any of that be wrong? That's what I feel and hear for you. And that's what they need you to hear. If you are acting from a place of pure, true love, and you have done all this work, and you have gone through the 7 stages of soul liberation to get here where you are, how could that be wrong? What could you possibly hurt someone with? I feel that the only weapon that you could wield anymore, and maybe this is why this has stood out so strong for me through your whole reading, the only weapon that you could really wield anymore is this sewing needle. As you help people literally stitch up and mend and learn how to heal themselves and stitch up and heal and mend themselves, and then they go out and teach someone else how to stitch up and mend themselves, until eventually we're living in that golden age again where people don't have to spend their entire existence learning how to heal from just existing, where they can spend their precious time here in this body as a soul to experience the fruitfulness of life. And that is what the archangels are trying to help you see that you are doing. At the bottom, we have judgment. The whole point is to be human. And I feel like because you hold this high frequency of healing energy, of healer energy, sometimes you don't feel so much like you're in your human self, or you feel you don't offer yourself enough grace just to be human. And these are the things that the archangels are wanting to bring. Sandalphon is just straight coming through for you. Sandalphon wants to work with you to help you kind of get off of this horizontal plane and into the air, into the vertical plane with Metatron. Is that not wild? Wow. Okay, so several of these also came out in group 2. Eye of the heart. For where the noose is, there is the treasure. That's what we were just talking about. I'm sorry this is so crazy, but this is the message. Like, I'm so sorry if I'm not saying it right. Nous, N-O-U-S. It's in the original Greek, which is translated more accurately, the spiritual eye of the heart. The nous, then, is the aspect of the soul that allows us to receive a vision from within. For where the nous is, the nous being the spiritual eye of the heart, for where the spiritual eye of the heart is, there is the treasure. There is the truth. That is actually all they wanted you to hear. That's why the cards fell out this way. Because I was getting ready to take this whole big group of cards. And they're all beautiful cards. Beloved. You know, Mary Magdalene. The Soul, I Am Free. These are cards that came out in the other readings. Because they all kind of seem to go together now here. Piles 1, 2, and 3. But your heart is pure. Your heart is full of love. You speak from your heart. Where the noose is, there is the treasure. The noose is the eye, the spiritual eye of your heart. That is where the treasure is. You're speaking from your heart, and what you're giving the people is an actual treasure. Look, the gem, the rhodonite here is over the heart space of this hummingbird. And I feel like you're too in your head about all of the responsibility that you feel comes with what you're being called to do. And just come back to this card with the rainbow and know that love is already won. The work has already been done. The hard part is over. Now you just get to fly and do what you came here to do. So that is your reading, group 3. Thank you so, so much for spending your precious time here with me and the archangels. Thank you to your team. Thank you to mine. Thank you to Amazing Spirit for facilitating this beautiful reading. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, or subscribe. Those are totally free ways to help the channel and to help the algorithm so I can keep doing what I'm most passionate about, which is bringing you readings like this. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just connect with me in any way, you can find all that information at my website at theseaowl.com. And as always, more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself. And I'll see you soon. Bye.